Hello, you're listening to Reviewing History, your comedy history podcast. I'm filmmaker and teacher Brian Rupert, joined here by...
As always, Steve Poole.
Yeah, the beady. And...
And gee. He's going to tell everyone the Civil War is coming.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Stephen Bariaco. That's how you pronounce it.
What's up, guys?
How we doing?
Oh, great.
Swell. I haven't seen you in a little bit. How are you?
Yeah, I know. We have a new recording schedule where we're around each other far less.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, it makes my life so much better. Just
I miss
not.
you guys. On an emotional, deep level.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry
It's
about
powerful.
It's
That was
okay.
a powerful one.
I get sad when we don't do the show.
that. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really the only time I hang out with my friends.
You can give us a call anytime. We can do
Yeah,
things.
I'm like 30 minutes away from each of you, so it's
I'm down the
Yeah.
block.
he's walking distance.
Brian picked me up from my house today and he missed it.
I drove past
Drove
his house.
past my house.
To be fair, I've only been there like twice. It's
Right.
still new, you know.
Yeah.
Did you turn on from Route 36?
Yeah.
Or did you go the other? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember it because
And
it's
I
a
actually
fishing
didn't go
shop.
past your house. I thought I did.
I thought so.
There's a
I was like
tackle
2
shop
minutes
near
away.
him.
I know
Yeah.
I know there was a tackle shop, but at one point I zoned out and I was like, did I miss
Don't
it?
stop telling people where I live. They're
Sorry.
going to figure it out.
It's a tackle shop. There's a million.
Yeah, but you know autists listen to this show. They've got powers.
All right, doorbell rings.
Valid point.
Yeah.
Doorbell rings, fan of the show. He's like, hey, I just want you to sign this.
Shows up at my house uninvited.
He just wants something
He's an
signed.
uninvited guest.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that, guys. Well, speaking of 36, I fucking hit a deer the other day.
You hit a deer or
I
something.
hit a deer.
Really?
Did we ever
Yeah.
tell that story?
Did we
I
ever
think
tell
so.
it? It just happened.
No, you hit a deer or something.
Oh, yeah. We
No, your
probably
Canadian
did. Yeah, I
story,
think we
probably,
did.
but that's
No,
for
but I
later.
actually hit a deer.
Fucked
Fucking,
up
you
your
moved
car.
to
Okay.
you moved to New Jersey and this shit
That's
happens.
it. You messed up your car.
Fucking, it's 4:30 in the morning. I get pulled over by a cop because it was pouring out, and I was you know the new headlights that every car has.
The worst
LEDs,
things in the
They
world.
blind you
Yeah.
when they're coming in the opposite direction. So I was fucking blinded, it was pouring out, and
Mm-hmm.
I was in between the lanes for like a couple of feet.
Because you
And
couldn't see.
Yes, and the cop comes and pulls me over to see if I was drunk. Of course, I was not drunk. So
I'm
he's-
blind,
his
officer.
knowledge.
So he was just like, "All right, get out of here."
You weren't drunk. You were coked up.
But if he hadn't done that, I wouldn't have been in front of this fucking deer. Well, the deer in front of me. So it wouldn't have happened. So I blame this cop for this fucking happening. The deer jumped over a divider into the front of my car and destroyed it. My car has got like $4,000 of damage on it. Like, what the fuck, man?
We need to raise money.
What's with these
push
deer?
some products
After
for
you
him.
told me that story
Uh-huh.
yesterday, I took my dog to Bellworks for a walk.
Uh-huh.
Bellworks is where they shoot Severance. It's like a kind of indoor mall almost, but there's
I
love
offices and
Severance.
stuff. Yeah, you like that show?
Oh, I love it.
They
Did you
get a
see it?
package?
I haven't watched it, no.
Dude, oh.
But
it's awesome.
I jog and walk there.
Mhm.
And last night, like after I got done watching some stuff, I was like, I'm gonna go for
You
a
watch
walk
some
with my
porn?
dog. Yeah. So,
Watch some stuff.
well, I
It's
watched.
like the worst thing you
I
can
watched
say.
one of the movies that we recorded.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Exact opposite.
yeah. So I went for a walk with my dog, and on the way there, it was so foggy last night I couldn't see. I almost hit a deer, and you popped into my fucking head.
That would have made me so happy.
Imagine it's the same deer.
Same deer. He's just
He's
walking
out
around-
to get
He's
us.
out
Yeah.
just fucking throwing himself into traffic. This fucking guy. I wonder. I wasn't going very fast. I was probably going about 35, 40 miles an
Okay.
hour. Does that kill a deer? Like, is he going to wander off and die now, like from internal injuries?
You'd be
possible.
surprised.
There wasn't any blood on the car. I got fur though.
I hit a deer before
I know you have.
on Christmas Day,
Yeah.
and there was fur in my car, and I
It
think I
took you
hit it.
hours to find him. He's just driving around
Looking
on
for it.
Christmas. He's like,
Looking for it.
I just gotta find one of these
gonna
motherfuckers.
get Santa.
What were you doing in the sky? Because that's the only place you can hit deer on Christmas.
I'll say this: I hit that deer light, and it did some damage, and there was hair.
Yeah, I had.
But I
had
ran
fur.
over its leg, and I saw it.
Ran over its leg.
I saw it limp away because it fell under my car.
Oh my god!
It jumped. It's
No,
the same
this
thing it
one-
did to you. It jumped to the front, and it instead of it like when I tried stopping, it fell under, and like my car didn't stop in time, and it kind of got ran over.
This thing is like directly in front of me, like right in the center. Like the headlights are not affected by it.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
just
deer in the
It's
headlights.
just your hood.
the hood and the grill and the radiators fucked up. And
So
the
it's pretty
bumper.
big deer. It's probably dead.
I think it was a doe because I didn't notice antlers. It happened in a flash, man. Like
Mhm.
this was
Yeah.
so fast.
But it's nighttime.
It's
Like-
4 in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's pitch black.
It was like it's in front of me. I hit it and then it's gone. And I got like if I blinked, I would have missed it.
That's why we
You know?
gotta hunt more because it wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen if we just killed most of them.
Well, you know my theory to deal with these sorts of populations. Me and you have discussed.
Yeah,
that.
we've discussed this theory, and I think it's a brilliant one.
What's that?
So Staten Island has a deer population.
Serious problem.
And-
Every one of them is tagged.
Yeah, my idea though was to release bears into the Staten Island's woods
Okay,
to take care of the deer.
that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
bears.
I think you need a predator there to deal
Right.
with the deer.
Yes,
Right.
obviously, in suburbia.
Yes.
And then I had to,
and
and then I had to reassure Brian that bears don't eat deer.
yeah.
So we would have a
eat
deer
berries.
and a bear problem.
Yeah, unless you're putting grizzlies. You putting grizzlies in there?
Whatever eats
they don't
deer.
eat deer.
I'm sure they do.
They eat salmon. They don't eat deer.
You gonna tell me a grizzly bear ain't gonna eat a
They're
deer?
not hunting a deer. If they find a carcass, maybe they're not hunting
So
it.
they only eat humans?
They don't eat humans. They attack them. They
Tell the-
defend them.
But Grizzly Man got eaten, right?
Grizzly man got eaten.
They
yeah.
defend. But yeah, like
You must
but they're
never
not-
watch this.
predators hunt. A bear, I don't think a grizzly bear is going to
what
hunt a
can
deer.
what can I put in
No,
the Staten
Werner, I
Island,
won't. I won't watch it, Werner.
What can I put in the Staten Island woods that will
Double
hunt
check.
a deer?
Let's double check this.
All right.
What is a deer's, besides human, I guess, what are their natural predators? It might be bears, but I don't know if it's grizzly.
Wolves, coyotes,
Yeah.
black bears, mountain lions, and bobcats. So black bears.
Okay, black bears work.
Let's put
Okay.
black bears all over the woods.
How
of
about a
like-
pack of wolves?
I like wolves.
Okay, too.
The wolves are just going to start taking us out.
Yeah.
I'm more scared of a pack of wolves than a bear. I
Did you ever
think.
hear about that town in Siberia that was besieged by wolves?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking scary.
That's what Staten Island's going to be once Brian has his way.
Well, let nature run its course, and you won't have a deer problem.
Mm.
I saw that.
Or just let me bow hunt them. It's fine.
I think moose kill the most North Americans a year.
Moose
Moose?
are terrifying, dude.
Yeah.
Do you know how big those things are?
Yeah, huge.
Well, they're aggressive,
Like-
but they also cause a shitload of like
Traffic,
accidents.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They're like the size of trucks.
The natural predator of moose is killer whales.
What?
What?
Get him said that the natural predator of the moose is the killer whale. That makes no
I would
sense.
Dennis,
say-
come here, please.
I would say it's a human, but
Yeah. How is?
How does a killer whale
How is
get the
a-
moose?
yeah.
They swim across rivers.
Microphone, sir. Microphone.
wait, there's killer whales in rivers?
They swim across rivers.
No, they don't.
Moose do, yes.
Yeah, but there's no killer
Yeah, but
whales
there's no
in
whales
rivers.
in the river.
Yes, there are. Up in
Killer
Alaska and the
whales?
areas, yeah.
In rivers?
How do they get in there?
They swim.
Yeah, but they're
They swim
saltwater
upstream.
animals. They
Yeah.
can't
Well,
go
they're
in
not
the.
necessarily saltwater animals.
I guess.
Moose?
No, the
The
whale.
whales.
So the moose go in the river.
The moose cross
Whales in the river, and a whale eats the moose. No,
Moose goes in the water.
The moose
Yeah.
is
Whales in
only
the water.
fresh
I'm
water.
not buying this. I'm not buying.
It's true. You can look it up.
I got.
You know,
Look this one up.
we're no longer reviewing. We're just National Geographic now. Here we go. What is this?
Our wild airport closet.
I do enjoy a nice nature show, and I've
Yeah,
never
me too.
heard this one.
Orcas are assumed to attack moose off the coast of Canada and
the
Alaska in the
fuck?
Pacific Ocean.
Why does he know that?
He's fucking get him.
They also attack yachts.
He has 148 IQ.
They also attack yachts.
Yeah, they do.
They hate
that.
the rich and moose.
Yes. They really are the proletariat of the animal kingdom.
They only go after big cats.
Yeah.
The bigger you are, they're going after you.
Nothing says aristocracy like moose.
Yeah, fuck them. Look how
I've
tall they
always
are.
been fascinated
Looking
with
down
moose.
on us.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think they're cool.
I think they're
They
cool
are
too.
cool. They're scary.
Just a giant fucking deer.
Rocky.
So I'm
Oh no,
the
Bullwinkle.
Bullwinkle.
Sorry,
I'm
Rocky's
getting into
fun, sorry.
hunting. I haven't killed anything yet, but I'm slowly practicing getting into it.
He's been getting hookers
And
all week.
I've told
He hasn't killed anything.
I
Yeah.
haven't killed anything, but you know, I'm working up to it. And I'm terrified of running into a moose because I don't.
You're not going to see a moose anywhere around here.
I'm not hunting here.
Where are you going? Maine? I think
Pacific Northwest.
I think that's the only place you can find a moose in the United
I
States.
thought they're in like
other
the
than
West
Alaska.
Coast.
Northeast.
Yeah, but haven't they been more or less relegated to Canada and Maine?
I don't know, but I'm assuming that there's moose
I don't think there's
in the
moose.
Northeast. Like,
Maine to Washington,
Maine, yeah.
yeah, it's the Appalachians.
Canada, and Alaska. So
Yeah.
the North.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
I'm
northern
just
creatures.
terrified of seeing like that big of a creature. You know,
Yeah.
that's scary.
That's like
And your gun won't kill it. You need like a big caliber.
yeah.
I think my gun might be able to, but not
I
all
would just
guns.
punch it in the head.
I would hit it with a UPS.
I couldn't kill it
truck.
with a bow.
I think a UPS truck could probably take out a moose.
Yeah, you gotta like,
Well, that's what Brown can do for you.
Yeah.
He could kill a moose.
Right. you gotta attach like pieces in the front that could scoop it up, though. You know, you don't want
Yeah.
to just hit it flat.
A cow
flat.
catcher.
Yeah.
You ever see those?
He's pulling up to people in the mountains. What are you hunting? He's in a UPS truck.
He's in a cat. You know,
Looking for moose.
You ever see those clips of Buster Keaton on like the front of a train? sitting on a
Yeah.
cow
it's
catcher?
so impressive.
yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah,
it's
he'll
very
take like
scary.
a big stick and hit the beams, the ties, railroad ties, like off the tracks as the train comes along. It's very
Yeah, like in the general.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
But we got some emails.
We do.
Hopefully someone asks about moose, so we're still
That would be
On
very
topic.
strange if somebody asked that. Then we get. Can you guys just? Do you know about moose? What's the plural?
caribou.
Caribou
Gone.
All right.
Woody sound. Ooh, tinny.
All right. This is from Seth Armstrong.
Seth
Is that
Armstrong.
a real name?
Yeah, he emails all the time.
Do I always say it? Do I always ask?
No,
it?
we always like his name, Seth.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know it was Armstrong though.
Yeah,
Is he-
he's very buff.
that's that of a. That's the name of an explorer, of a man of action.
Man who goes with the moon.
Yes.
A man who wouldn't be afraid of a moose.
Do you
Exactly.
think it would suck to have the name of like a great man that like
And you suck.
yeah. Like you'll never live up to it.
Yeah, like if you name your kid Trajan or something.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
like unless he goes to Mars,
Yeah. Right.
he'll never top Neil. I mean, I think he's cool. He emails a podcast. Neil, I bet Neil never did
I
that.
bet he didn't.
Yeah.
You're right.
He might have been able to if you use a service called Riverside.
No, do it now.
Do it. All
Yeah.
Riverside is an online telecommunications tool that allows you to
Do it.
podcast in beautiful 4K. You can conference
From the moon.
yeah, from the moon. All your video conferencing.
I'm calling
needs.
you now from
Asterisk
the
if you
Oval
have
Office in the
internet
White House.
service.
This has to be the proudest moment in all Americans.
If that was on Riverside, it would have sounded even better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Richard Nixon could have spoke to him.
It would be
Sounded even
crystal
better.
clear.
Yeah, they would have heard one small step for a man.
Oh yeah,
That's the real line.
Yeah.
That's what
he said one.
Yes.
One small step for a man. One giant leap
Yeah.
for man.
But it just gets cut out.
The audio equipment cut the A.
They did not have Riverside.
Yes.
Yeah, and now he's going to be misquoted for all time.
That's
All
right.
eternity.
Let me ask you a question: what counts as the real quote? What everybody heard?
Well, if you think about the one that everybody hears, it makes no sense. One small step for man, one giant leap for man. It's the same thing 2 times.
Yeah,
It's a man.
that makes
Yeah.
sense. How often? All right. What do you think his writing process was like as he was coming up with that line? He had to
He
draft.
thought of that on the way there.
You had to,
probably,
yeah.
Like he was just sitting. I think before that, like
Yeah.
he's writing it out. Like, what am I gonna fucking say?
Like,
Yeah.
if they land, what's the first thing to say? That's a powerful thing
In
to say.
reality, Kubrick was like, "Here is your script.
Right,
This
yes.
is what you will say."
Werner Herzog.
Do you
Yeah.
see that, like, China landed that little thing on the moon and it landed upside down? They couldn't even land a robot on the moon.
I thought Japan just went to the moon recently.
It was China.
It was China.
China.
China landed a rover and it landed upside down. They can't even land a
Oh.
rover.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
Riverside. Continue.
Riverside, check it out. Beautiful
Check it out,
4K.
yeah, it's
all
great.
your podcasts, and you've heard me talk about it before. You
We
know what
talk
the
about it
deal
all
is.
the time.
It is the best.
All that. Oh.
All right. So this is from Seth. Hey
Hi, Seth.
guys, I bought the Christmas pod despite Rub's disgusting attempts to line his own pockets, trying to take money from children. Jesus, Rub.
Thank you, Seth.
Even he saw.
That said, you'd never lose your job as a department store Santa for being a pinko like this friend of mine. Yeah, he's a friend of mine too.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah. He was working as Santa and he started talking to kids
Yeah.
about communism.
Hey, this guy's a cunt.
And he continues, then I heard about Rupp's very elitist, very exclusive Christmas party. Harder to get into than Studio 54. Snub after snub after snub. Disgusting. But not for nothing, I have to doff hat for such a power move. Luckily, the Christmas pod redeemed even that sack of shit who busted a gut doing all the games and stuff. You guys put the comedy in Comedy History Podcast, and if you're funny, a lot can be forgiven. That's where Hitler went wrong. He couldn't tell a joke to save his life.
It's true.
Yeah.
My dog has no nose.
How does he smell?
Awful.
Since you guys had talked it up so much, I watched A Muppet Christmas Carol, which I can't believe I hadn't seen.
Oh, what a joy.
Yeah.
As well as the man who invented Christmas, and I loved both. I wonder why they've never done Muppet versions of other movies. Taxi Driver, Saw, the Muppet Expanded Universe.
Gonzo as Travis Bickle would be fucking awesome.
Are you talking to me?
It's in the mirror.
All right. What movie would you want to see
Which
remade?
Muppet would be the Harvey Keitel character? Fozzie?
Fozzie.
Standing in that fucking
Yeah,
doorway?
Fozzie. He's naked.
Yeah.
Fozzie.
You fucking, she's 12 years old.
Waka waka.
And the girl is the blonde hair in the band.
That's Miss Piggy.
Yeah,
Oh, you want the girl to be Piggy?
Yeah.
No, Piggy's got to be the one he takes to the porno theater.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's a movie.
All right, cast a movie that you would want to see with just the Muppets.
Just the Muppets?
Yeah, so it's the same movie, just the Muppets. Like Titanic, but they're all Muppets.
Saving
The
Private
script
Ryan.
has not changed at all.
Yeah.
I want
It's
Saving Private
dead
Ryan.
serious.
Saving Private
That's funny.
Event Horizon.
Okay.
You want Salo?
You know, I'm always down for a Sailor reference. I had a movie in my head and you just knocked it out. Fuck. I don't want to say Salo. I had a good one too, you son of a bitch.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
The Conjuring.
Kramer versus Kramer. There you go. It's Piggy and Kermit.
Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Menace to Society.
He said, man, Dickens had a lot of kids, though, eh? I guess maybe normal for the time. They all did back then. Had to. High infant mortality, no birth control, and reusable condoms that you had to tie on.
If I could put a French tickler on the end of my John Thomas.
We're
Trying to go
products.
buy Could we? Yes, I could.
We have had sex.
We've had intercourse 2 times. Not a python.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a disgusting time
We're in
to
a
be
mood.
alive. They did gloss over a lot of Dickens' flaws, though, which is understandable for a lighthearted Christmas movie. I was reading a bit about him. Dickens, as a gentleman, would never use the servant's entrance, the back door, and he could be very stingy about presents. She really wanted one, but he never gave his wife a pearl necklace.
He probably did.
As for a Christmas
No, he had
Carol,
a mistress that he did.
As for Christmas Carol, for people who didn't witness the visits of the ghost, Scrooge's overnight redemption just seems to come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Instantly, all is forgiven. But presumably, for his nephew's whole life, Scrooge has been a dick to him. And he's been a complete dick to Cratchit.
Fred?
Yeah. But I guess Cratchit had dollar signs in his eyes. Got to say, I really hope the purchasing power of the shilling was greater than its modern equivalent. 15 shillings a week, 20 to make a pound. Using an inflation calculator and conversion, he was taking home about $500 a month.
Scrooge or Cratchit?
Cratchit. And he says Bob Cratchit was making about $528 a month. He talks about Tiny Tim. And I'm going to go down a little bit.
Well, you're editing this man's email.
It's very long.
I think you got to do this before the read.
It's okay. And he goes, what's the worst adaptation of A Christmas Carol you've seen? Although a great actor, I don't dig Patrick Stewart's version. 2 years out from Star Trek, it seemed like Picard on the holodeck. Although the 1951 Alistair Sim version does take too many liberties with the source material, it's my personal favorite, and the special effects still hold up.
Is that the one with George C. Scott?
He says, I didn't like the George C. Scott version too much either, especially that scene where he slaps Cratchit and then has to apologize.
I'll be honest, I haven't seen many of these.
Really?
Or any of them, really. I think I've seen the Patrick Stewart one.
I've never seen that one.
I try to watch at least one new one a year.
Really?
Yeah. I love the story.
You love the story.
Yeah, I love the story. I love depictions
I know
of it.
Mickey had one. Mickey Mouse.
Mickey's is great.
Is it really?
Have you ever seen it?
When I was a little kid, yeah.
We watch it every year.
Really?
Yeah, it's quick. It's like 20 minutes.
Mhm.
But it's a really good like cartoon version. You know, it's the tightest version of the story possible.
Right.
It's good. The worst version, Ghost of Christmas Past. Ghost of Girlfriend's Past.
Oh, what was that?
I thought that
was
was
that
a
Ricky
standalone.
Gervais?
No.
I thought that
It's
was
Matthew
a standalone.
McConaughey.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's a ripoff of A Christmas Carol. The three girlfriends come to him.
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, his girlfriend of his
Oh.
past, present, and future.
Really?
Yeah.
Sounds horrible. Horrible.
I'm sure it was.
What was the Ricky Gervais
it's-
movie with the ghosts? Bob Kelly's in it.
Oh, fuck. It's not Ghost World.
I think it's Ghost World.
Inventional Lying. And there might be Ghost World.
I think it's Ghost World.
Yeah. I liked that movie. I liked Inventional Lying, too.
Inventional Lying was okay. I think that
It's a little too atheist try hard.
Mm.
that's all he does though. That's his
him.
shtick.
Yeah.
So, you know what you're getting into. But
And he continues, Christopher Plummer's Scrooge was great and funny, and you could kind of see his point of view. He did pay Cratchit the going rate, and of course, he has to answer to shareholders too. I didn't realize Christopher Plummer was the father of Honey Bunny from Pulp Fiction.
Hello, Honey Bunny.
Yeah. Did you know that?
I didn't know that in real life.
No, I didn't know that either.
I know that he was General Chang. That's what I.
But
That's what I
Hollywood
recognize
tends
him
to
as.
keep it in the family. Hollywood keeps it in the family. So
He
love you.
Yeah. He said the man who invented
I know, Honey Bunny.
I know.
the man who invented Christmas was in Ireland.
Tell that bitch to chill.
Was in Ireland, Canada co-production.
It's cool.
That's right. We're going to be a couple of Fonzies.
Calm down.
So you got the Irish maid and then Dickens' wife reading Rough in the Bush right before telling him she's pregnant again and then talking about how she would have liked to move to Canada. By the way, I think BetterHelp should hire Rupp to write their copy. How did he put it? Something like, if you know someone who's fucked up, get them BetterHelp. As long as they use your code, Rupp wouldn't want anyone else to get better unless he could profit from it.
That's
You're
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Keep up the good work, Steve and Aunt G.
Thank you.
And yes, you too, Rupp, you lovable, money-grubbing fat fuck. You wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner. It hurt a bit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's magnificent.
Just busting your balls. I can make fat jokes since my own physique is, shall we say, get a mess. Minus the gout and various oozing sacks of pus. More ball busting. I love get him. If he's listening, how you stankin'?
He is.
Personally, I'm stankin' good. Stankin' real good. So,
Wow.
yeah, keep up
That's
the good
funny.
work, you Goombas, you menches. Certainly, you're no mooks. Get him said, keep on stankin'. And don't listen to the drunken ramblings of drunken Irishmen. Sorry this is so long. I guess I had sort of verbal diarrhea, which is way better than regular diarrhea. On that note, ...
The audience is turned on Mumphrey.
Yeah. I like Billy Mumford.
I like Billy Mumphrey too.
Yeah, once we found out he's not where we thought he was from, shit went awry.
This email's a little quicker.
Okay.
Hello, Brian, Steve, and Aunt G.
Hello.
I'll spare the details and bend the knee.
Who's this from?
This is from Daniel Woolley.
Wooly.
Very woolly sound.
Woody.
Woody.
He wears sweaters a lot. He's always itchy. He looks like a crackhead. He's like,
I've started wearing wool socks. It ain't itchy. Wool is fantastic.
wool sweaters, I think, are uncomfortable.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever wore one?
No, but
They
if
do get
they're
a
like
little
the
itchy.
socks, they're good. Continue.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had.
You've had a wool sweater?
No, I have a problem.
Okay.
I keep buying like band T-shirts,
Yeah.
like at shows or on the internet, and I noticed that unlike
Yeah.
my normal shirts, they're 100% cotton.
Sucks.
They shrink as soon as you get them in the dry. Brian's smiling because he's going to make a Seinfeld reference.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I
what are you
wasn't.
gonna-
No,
what are you going to say?
you're coming around. You're coming to the Brian way of thinking.
What's that?
I will not buy any shirt anymore until I feel it, and it must be a soft, lightweight, comfortable material. When you get
Well,
like
cotton's fine. It's just
no, all those
this shirt.
Cotton
this
feels
shirt
rough.
right here. If I put this in the dryer, it's going to shrink. When I wear this, I have to hang it up somewhere so that it dries. It's fucking infuriating.
Is it soft?
Yeah, it feels fine. You want to touch it? You want to touch my shirt? Right?
This is a rough shirt. This isn't soft.
Think of that.
That's a rough shirt. It's a rough shirt.
That's
This man doesn't know what real.
he doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
Like feel this.
Let
Feel
me
how
feel
soft
your
this
shirt.
is.
My God,
Let me see that.
that's silky.
Bring
That
it
is
here.
So silky.
Oh, that is nice.
That's so
That is
silky.
nice.
So when I won't buy, and like if
You wanna
I
do a little.
so there are shirts where I'll like
what I
the
mean?
design and like I'll feel the fabric on the shirt and go, I'll never wear it.
Yeah,
I
you
won't.
Can't, yeah.
All my clothes must be max comfort, which I know you're against.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you
Well,
gotta-
that destroyed society. So
yeah. In the long run,
in the long run, which
I won the bet.
I won the.
So you
bet.
keep shrinking your clothes.
I keep shrinking my band shirts. It's fucking ridiculous because you forget that they're in the pile. You know.
Yep. When you're taking things
When you're
out,
taking
of the
out,
washer.
yeah.
My wife told me I shrunk her whole wardrobe.
Really.
She's very mad
Way
at
to
me.
go.
Yeah. But I haven't changed any way I've been doing clothes.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, you shrunk all my clothes. I'm like, I didn't do anything different. I always wash it on cold and I put it in the dryer on more dry. I don't know.
How's your Love Beach shirt?
My Love Beach shirt is doing very well. Yeah. It's in a place of honor in my closet.
Continue with the email.
Yeah.
All right.
Conversational.
Hello to Brian,
Whoa.
Steve, and Aunt G. I'll spare the details and bend the knee to what has become my favorite podcast.
Hey,
thank you.
Yeah, the show is full bore into my two biggest interests, and I have an identical sense of humor, which leaves me laughing out loud while listening to the show.
Nice.
I felt like a little kid hearing my comment get mentioned in the recent pick episode. I'm writing to share an epiphany I had listening to you guys review The Crossing, as well as tickles Brian's interest in both hockey and history. July 3rd, 2027 will be the 205th anniversary of the Revolutionary Battle of Princeton.
Mm-hmm.
Coincidentally, it will also be New Year's weekend, and thus
July?
I said January 3rd.
January.
3rd, 2027.
I was very
I must
lost.
have misspoke. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Be the 250th anniversary of the Revolutionary Battle of Princeton. Coincidentally, it will also be New Year's weekend and thus the weekend of the NHL Winter Classic. It came to me as a golden opportunity for the NHL to get a slice of the coming commemoration of the 250th anniversary of American independence. His proposal, January 23rd, 2027. Battle of Princeton. Flyers at Devils in Princeton's
That is a
field.
great
That
idea.
is cool.
That is a great idea.
So I don't
That's
know. I don't know
cool.
if you guys know this. Every year on New Year's Day, the NHL puts together what they call the Winter Classic.
Okay.
Yes.
They build a hockey rink in a new location
Uh,
and they play a game there. It's like the only game of the day, and it's televised there. Like they've done Notre Dame, Wrigley Field, all these different places, right? And
so they do it at Washington's Crossing.
they would do it on
Oh,
Princeton.
Princeton.
They would do it on
in
Princeton's field.
I guess the college probably has one, right? Probably has a ice rink.
No, they don't. They do it outdoors. It's an outdoors game.
Oh,
So they would do it on the football field
okay.
in the area for Battle of Princeton.
Right.
That'd be cool.
And he wants it to be Flyers Devils.
That's a great idea.
I don't know if we have the poll to get this done for you, but
Well, we got a couple of years to get there.
Yeah. Look,
Get Wyshynski on the phone. We'll
yeah,
get him
let's
back.
tell Greg.
hey, he might have someone. How funny
He
would
just
that
had
be
a-
if he's like, I'll put you in contact. And
He
we
just
were
had
the
another
ones.
kid, so congrats to you, Greg.
Congrats, Greg.
Greg
If
Wyshynski.
you're listening, congrats.
He's not listening.
No.
Although
You
I was
don't
when
know.
he was here,
You don't know. He knew our stuff.
he knew the show,
Yes.
which shocked me.
He had to listen to
Yeah.
find
an
out.
episode or two.
Yeah, I spoke to him not too long ago.
Oh,
Did you?
Yeah.
About what?
Hockey.
Coming back on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we'll see if we could get that to happen.
Cool.
He did just have a kid, so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
So
But-
he definitely wants to leave his house. So
Yeah. Take it from me. Anything to get away from a screaming baby. Oh, let me tell you. The baby, by the way, is driving me insane lately.
Why?
She just turned 8 months. For 8 months, great sleeper.
Mhm.
No fucking problems.
Mhm.
Now, will not go to sleep.
What changed?
I wish I could fucking tell you. She won't go to sleep. at night. Like we put her in, like her bedtime was like 7, 8, put her in like 7:30 every night. Will not go to sleep until like 10. The other night would not sleep at all. Eventually, and I did this once before, but it was like a one-time occurrence, so it was fine. There was one night I was in my car with her for 3 hours in a McDonald's parking lot because it was the only way.
to go to sleep.
It was the only way I could get her to sleep.
She
was
falls
in
asleep in the car.
Yeah. So I had to the other night
You driving?
drive around with her in the car.
You're just driving a circle.
I drove down 35 for like 20 minutes
Wow.
and then back, and she was out cold. But one night I just sat in a McDonald's. It was raining. I sat in a McDonald's parking lot for like 4 hours with her while she slept.
Aw.
Yeah, she was sick. But yeah,
There's a book on
it
this.
sucked.
There's a book where it's like certain techniques to get your kid on
I thought you were
like
gonna say that
a
one.
very
That mock book.
specific sleep schedule.
She broke it.
That book
Mm.
about Samuel L. Jackson reading fucking nighttime stories.
Yeah.
Go the fuck to sleep.
Yes,
Yeah,
go the fuck to
Yeah.
sleep.
we have that.
You know?
But he said,
How edgy.
so the email is, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. I was partial to include the Rangers and Islanders keeping the history of the British Army's beachhead, but I felt it was important to highlight how integral New Jersey was to the Revolution. In the interest of not leaving the other gents out of it, I'd like to put them to answer a question, either through the podcast or their own viewing. Have they ever felt like they genuinely learned more about a topic from watching a movie?
Definitely.
Many times
Oh, yeah,
watching the show,
definitely.
yeah. Doing stuff on the show.
Yeah, can you think of something specific? It's hard for me too, but I know I have.
I'm consistently shocked.
There, oftentimes, this happened all the time when I was young, when I was a kid. It was like I'd see, media of some kind, most, movies, and then look things up about it and learn from that. Like, I don't know, Titanic, Gangs of New York, anything.
Death Hunt.
Death.
Yeah.
Death. Who knew
Death
anything about
Hunt.
death? About that? About the Mad Trapper? Until
Yeah,
we watched
exactly.
Death
It's like,
Hunt.
that took us down
Yeah,
a cool
yeah.
hole.
But you're not really learning real history watching Death Hunt. I'm not sure if the question is does it spur you to go and look up things and learn more, or does the movie itself teach you?
Have you learned more about a topic from watching a movie?
I definitely have.
Yes.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
the time.
That's easy.
It's the
Yeah,
premise of
like
the show,
every
really.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah, like we just recorded our episode on Amistad.
Yes.
That will be
That's a spoiler.
yeah, it's going to be coming out next week.
Do you think anyone is like, I like when they announce it at the end?
No. And I definitely was not all that familiar with the case
Yeah.
until we watched the movie. Yeah.
He said, if this email is never seen by anyone, I would still like to congratulate you guys on a full year of the show.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
a full
you.
video year. We're actually almost.
Yeah, we're
in-
almost at 2 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope you continue to make such great content and keep doing things the Chicago way. Oh,
we'll
trust me,
always do
we're
it the
doing things the
Chicago
Chicago
way.
way.
And that was an audio episode.
Yeah,
An
that was.
Untouchables one.
Yeah.
So he's been around, this guy.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
Let's see.
Thank you for writing in.
There's a PPS from Seth. Geez, if Get him is getting all this hate lately, maybe I shouldn't have been busting his balls. I'm part of the problem. Well, like Aunt G said, haters gonna hate. That's
right.
good. He should write that down. They're just jealous of Get'em's mountain man good looks and high IQ. Or maybe one of you guys should slap him and tell him that Reddit trolls and haters don't end the world. I don't think Get him cares.
Get him is a joy. He's just a
Yeah.
wonderful man.
He is like a duck.
Yeah.
Like water just and hate rolls off his back.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
don't care.
I think it would
And his
cripple
voice
other men.
doesn't. His voice doesn't echo.
Like a duck.
Duck doesn't echo.
I
Duck
think
quack
that made
doesn't
Get him
echo.
laugh. Get
It
him
did.
knew that obscure duck fact.
If you knew about ducks, you
No, but I
laughed.
know we got a bird guy fan.
He loved it.
Yeah, he was just like, "Fuck, dog."
This guy knows.
Yeah.
We gotta do pig year.
I
I
yeah,
want
we gotta do
want
Big
to
Year.
do Big Year.
My wife watches this show. She loves this guy Josh Gad, I think his name is.
Oh yeah.
He does like
He's
mysteries
Olaf.
at the museum.
Mysteries at the museum.
Am I Josh something? Maybe he's not.
Josh Gad is the fat dude from. He does the voice of Olaf. He does all the Disney musical shit.
Well, she watches the show Mysteries at the Museum, and this guy's got like a couple of shows, and one of them she was watching the other day was all about the Salton Sea, which I had never heard of until you started
Oh
talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
I spoke about that.
Yeah. So that was cool.
Don
Wildman. She's in love with this guy.
Josh Gad. It's not
That's
even
so
close.
Far. It's so far.
Don Wildman. Yeah. She loves Don Wildman and Neil. She's in love with Neil Fallon from Clutch. My wife has the hots for Neil Fallon.
Really?
Yeah. It makes me feel like kind of insecure when I'm listening to Clutch.
You can never take her to a Clutch show now.
I took her to a Clutch show.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What are you doing? He has arresting eyes.
He's a dreamboat. He's just too short.
Oh, he's a short man?
He's a little guy.
Yeah?
Arresting eyes.
Do you think is he taller than Danzig?
He's probably taller than Danzig.
I think you gotta be tall. Like, there's a Danzig cutoff.
Dio.
Yeah.
All the little guys.
Who's bigger,
Bruce
Danzig
Springsteen.
or-
Not
Bruce isn't that small.
Bruce Dickinson.
He's
Dickinson's
not that
not
small,
that-
right?
He's
Dickinson's
short.
Shorter, but not.
I think I know I'm short. I don't think I'm like midget short, like Danzig, you know?
Mm.
Is Danzig midget short?
Danzig is like 5 foot.
5?
Remember when that guy punched him in the hallway?
Yeah. Did you watch the Red Letter meeting? They kept showing it.
No.
Yeah, they just did on his new movie. They did a best of the worst on it, and they fucking kept showing Danzig getting punched in the
He
hallway.
ran away from my brother once.
Really?
Yeah, my brother went to go see him and met him, and he like, I
Scared
guess
him.
it was like right after that happened,
Yeah.
and he like wasn't dealing with it with people, so he like ran away.
I mean, if random people were punching me, I guess I wouldn't want to.
Yeah. Just get away.
Like, that's an internet meme?
It became a trend,
Who can
yeah.
punch Danzig the best?
That would suck.
Danzig is 5'3",
Uh-huh.
so he's probably like
Okay.
5'2", you know,
Yeah.
pumping up his height a bit.
Pumping up the side.
He's at Jimmy the Hair Guy's level. Do you think we could get like a celebrity boxing Danzig versus Jimmy the Hair Guy?
We might not be able to get Jimmy ever again. He's gaining.
He's big time.
He's having a
He's
romantic
gaining.
getaway with Chuck Staten.
Yeah. I was talking to them. They did the Impractical Jokers cruise. I was
Yeah.
really jealous.
I know
They had a lot
that
of fun.
at least one of them are listening to this right now. And I got to say, guys, shoes on the beach? You were shoobies? I don't care about you guys
Shoobies.
oiling each other's backs, but
Shoobies. Thank you for bringing
come
the
on,
rocket
guys.
power.
Come on, guys. You're better than this.
Yeah, you're a bunch of squids.
Well, you know Beaver loves Tito's Surf Shack. All right. So he goes, till then, you've got many more bitchy comments coming your way. Stand like a man and give some back. Tell him to suck your fat cock.
Whoa.
By the way, if Get Him returns as a guest, you should see if there are any movies about the invention of the cotton gin. That's right in his wheelhouse.
Oh, that might get dark.
Eli Whitney.
It's just him tinkering. I've done it. I found a way to.
I found a way to make slavery last longer.
That was his goal. Eli, what drove you to create
I
the
saw
cotton-
that slavery was dying. Gradual abolition was on the rise.
I needed to add something to really pump up those numbers.
Holy shit.
And he sent another one. Pretty low down to hear that dirty embezzler Rupp trying to throw his co-hosts under the bus for not wanting to cut in St. Jude's in perpetuity for all sales of the Christmas pod. What is this?
What's up? Get him.
Oh,
The cotton
no. I
effect.
can't show this.
Okay, what's going on?
You gotta show it.
why
No,
does Get-
we can't show
why
it.
does Get him have papers about the cotton gin? What is going
The
on?
cotton gin effect.
No, don't show the paper because it has to be blurred anyway.
Why?
Why?
Because 2 pictures on there can't.
Babe Ruth?
No. There's a picture of Hitler on there, and then there's an anti-United States slogan. Just don't put it up.
Okay.
What is this Get him?
This is from
Yeah,
an
what is
old
this?
Tell 'em Steve Dave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was Impress the Professor, where we had to impress Frank Five.
Okay.
So
That's how you impressed them?
Yes. Without the cotton gin, we wouldn't have baseball. We wouldn't have
Oh, that's a good point.
We wouldn't have America.
and that would mean that Hitler would be in power because America would
Oh,
be
wow.
there to take Hitler out.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes
I mean, the
sense.
Germans might have won World War One.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And there definitely wouldn't be a Hitler.
Yeah.
Rupp trying to throw his co-host under the bus for not wanting to cut in St. Jude's in perpetuity of all future sales of the Christmas pod, given that Chisler's attempt to rob St. Jude of half of what they were owed, which he tried to play off as a joke and act all innocent, but no one's buying it. And now he's trying to ride his high horse on the moral high ground, tramping all over Steve and Angie, his clear moral superiors, for shame. I don't like this.
This is great.
I don't like this.
I like Seth.
I don't like these Rupp attacks.
Seth is a good egg. Good egg.
When did you become Rupp?
Tell him Steve
Tell him
Dave.
Steve Dave.
Yeah.
Called him Rupp. I don't know why.
Walt just,
That's just
Just
what
a
he
Rupp.
started calling
R
it.
U
Yeah.
P P.
yeah. Most people would go Roop.
Yeah.
He went with Rupp. There's a hockey player, Mike Rupp. So
okay.
he was a devil in 2003. So that's probably why. It's
Right.
I think
fine.
Rupp is a little more catchy than Roop.
I like
Rupp
it. I don't
is
mind
like
it.
an up. It ends on an up, and like Roop is just like,
I'm Roop.
Yeah, but
I'm so
Rupp,
sad.
you know.
Rupp is yeah.
Rupp is- yeah.
Sounds like something a dog says.
Rupp. Yeah, my dog talks to me. He says my name. Oh, why do I keep becoming Hacky Rodney Dangerfield?
He was Rover Dangerfield.
He was. Did you see that movie?
Yes, I did.
I saw it in theaters.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw Rockadoodle.
So did I.
Uncle Dookie.
Uncle Dookie. Rockadoodle's great. Very confusing, but great. What else we got?
Sun do shine.
You better shine, better shine.
That's it.
How
for
high
emails.
were they?
We're running out of
Batteries.
No batteries.
It's history time, guys.
We got some
Okay.
history? All right.
History. All right.
I've got an epic.
I got a fun one.
I got two.
What?
Got two.
Yeah, I got two.
That's not fair.
They're very light.
Oh.
It is Black History Month. It's February, so my pick will be dedicated to that. Spoiler, it's already mentioned. It's going to be, Amistad.
Mhm.
But I did pick two Black History things. They're very light.
Okay.
I'll go with the older one first. So the year is 1966.
Mm-hmm.
It is the first year that Star Trek is on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the end of the first season, and Nichelle Nichols
Yes.
is there, and
And Nichelle Nichols, for those who don't know.
she played Lieutenant Uhura, who is
Sounds oddly familiar.
Sounds very familiar, yes.
she does like a lot of communications for the ship,
Right,
translating
yeah,
things.
she's a communications
Yeah,
officer.
Yeah, it's not a big role. She's not super important.
No, but she's there.
But
She's on the bridge.
she's on the
an
bridge,
officer.
yeah.
She's on.
It's the end of the first season,
Mhm.
and she is actually considering leaving
What?
the show.
Star
No.
Trek.
She wants to quit.
No.
Why?
Yep.
Why?
It's not a big enough role. She wants to do other things.
wants
She wants
something
to
bigger.
move on. And she's
can get
at
that.
a party, and you will not believe who she runs into.
Who?
Martin Luther King Jr.
No way.
Yeah.
The man himself.
The man himself.
The hero of
Yep.
freedom.
Runs into Martin Luther King Jr. and he goes, "You cannot quit Star Trek." And she's like, "Why?"
Why? Yeah.
He
It's her
goes,
career.
He goes,
Why are you doing this again?
what are you talking
Let
about?
him do it. Let him cook.
And he goes, "You got to stay on. You have to stay on.
Why?
Because it is important that America sees a black woman on TV being treated like an equal to everybody else."
Mhm.
He was very forward thinking. That's good advice. Brian is now here. It is recording.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just
Are you okay?
yeah, just for a second I was like, when you
Yes,
did I
yeah.
hit record?
Yeah, no, you did. I see that little
Okay.
red button.
Just for a second I gave myself a fright.
It's okay. We would have lost 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my.
It would have been audio only.
So, so he tells her,
Yes.
you're treated like an equal. You can't leave. She decides to stay.
Oh, thank God.
This
Yeah.
decision leads to the first interracial kiss on TV. Her
With
and-
William Shatner.
With William Shatner. And in fact, that episode was going to be banned in the South. They didn't want to show it. William Shatner blew every take that he didn't kiss her on purpose so that they
Right.
had to show the kiss.
Right.
And it's a big pivotal moment.
It is a pivotal moment.
It's a little piece of civil rights, but it's a big
Yeah.
important moment. She would go on to play Uhura in 6 Star Trek movies after the show was over.
Big roles.
And then after that, she would proceed to talk about this event in any interview she appeared on for the next 30 to 40 years until her death.
And now that's the second time that story has been
yes.
told on this show.
I'm going to tell everybody now.
Every February.
Expect to hear that every February.
So what's your real one?
That is a real one. I mean, that's real.
It's real, but I meant like, what's the one that you brought? Because that one is, the bit. What is your actually?
Right.
What's your second one?
I'm going to talk about Lonnie Johnson.
Lonnie Johnson.
Do you know who he is?
I don't know who Lonnie Johnson is. Who is Lonnie Johnson?
So you're not going to know really too much about him, except for you definitely know his invention. All right?
Okay, he's an inventor.
He's an inventor. He's a black dude
From the United States?
from the United States.
Traffic light.
Oh, I think I do.
I think you're gonna, yeah. So he's a black dude. Won science prizes in high school as a little kid. Really smart
kid.
dude. Came up with all this shit. His first big invention was kind of almost like a proto robot that worked by compressed air.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually he gets involved with NASA in the early 70s. And he starts working in their development program. And he helps with the first stealth bomber.
Wow.
Developing that. He plays a big part in that.
Key inventor.
but obviously some space stuff, but that's not really what he's known for.
What's he known for?
Not the stealth bomber? I feel like
What he did individually. He invented the super soaker.
What?
That's awesome.
I'll have the soup.
Continue.
No soup for you.
He invented the super soaker.
Yeah, so I don't know. What were you referencing?
Soup or soaker. I'll have the soup.
Oh. Now I get it. Now it's good.
I didn't want to give it to him.
It's good. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. It's good. It's clever wordplay.
Clever.
So he developed the first super soaker, and he originally marketed it as called the Power Drencher, and he did this while
That's
he was
a
with the Air Force. Terrible name. Brought it back and rebranded it as the Super Soaker, and it blew
Do you think
up
because he liked the SS?
Yes. He loved the SS.
SS. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, his
He doesn't
mentor
like
was
the
a guy.
PD.
His mentor was a guy from Operation Paperclip.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
Every time he would see pictures of the Wehrmacht, he'd go, boo.
See the Luftwaffe and be like, ah.
Now we're getting
Now you're talking my language.
So he came up with the Super Soaker, in the 90s, and it blew up in 1991, and it made $200 million in sales its first year.
It's one of the greatest
1991.
toys.
It's a great toy.
It is an incredible toy. Do you
Yeah.
have memories of the Super
Oh,
Soaker?
yeah. I had one.
I have a very fond memory. I had a crappy Super Soaker when I was young.
Okay.
And you went far and beyond anyone's.
I wanted to talk about this.
So we would be like, oh, let's get our guns, and you would run in and get your Super Soaker. You start spraying each other, and Super Soaker. Brian goes, I'm gonna get my new one. And
Kids still liked them.
I don't know.
I don't think kids like anything that's not on an iPad or iPhone, unfortunately.
And Brian goes, I'm gonna get my new Super Soaker. We're like, oh, he's got a new Super Soaker, and you're thinking a Super Soaker.
Hose.
He has backpack,
I had that.
Gatling gun with multiple settings. It didn't just fire. It went like it was a stream that was
It was
probably
like a
as
hose.
thick as
Yeah.
my fist. It was like getting hit with a
It
fucking
actually
bat.
hurt.
Yeah. It would make you fly back. And he walks out like, I got my Super Soaker. And it made this noise. It didn't even squirt. You heard the hose.
It was a blast.
It was
the only
insane.
problem was you would run out of water so quick. I was constantly filling up.
I had one with the backpack. It might have been the same thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't use it. I was probably 5 years old, And when it was filled, it was just too heavy. I couldn't lift it. So I remember hanging it on the mailbox. Like I fucking hung it on the
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just stationary.
You were stationary. All your friends are running around if anyone comes near this mailbox.
I'm looking at this is kind of the
model.
one. Yeah. This is kind of the one. It's not the exact, but it has yours had a backpack and it was gray.
Mine was,
but it's close.
huge.
It's close to that, yeah.
And I was a little kid, I could barely hold it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it
it
actually
wasn't
had like
even-
kickback.
It wasn't
I
even
feel
like
like
a
you-
trigger. It was
if
like a
you're the-
lever.
If you're the guy who has that fucking thing, you need like a cigarette.
I have never been cool enough for a cigarette. I remember in 5th grade, it was like when we're graduating, they had like a big barbecue at Nansen Park, which is like a lodge on Staten Island. And like it was like the teachers and students, they all had a big water fight. And I begged my parents, like, if I'm doing this water fight, I
gotta
need
go
the
in.
biggest gun.
Yeah.
They
were
were
like-
fucking walking around like the
They had to talk
Terminator.
to each other like he's right.
Eventually, I got the one. It was blue with the purple tank.
Ah, that's a classic.
That's a
yeah.
classic. I had that. That was like my service weapon.
Exactly. Eventually, I got kind of a standard issue one too,
right,
because
yeah.
I was like, the backpack is too much
issue.
every time. I
Right.
needed a sidearm.
Yeah,
Right.
Because I'd
right.
run out
you
of
need a
water.
more versatile weapon.
Yeah.
Did anyone ever put Alka-Seltzer in the thing?
No, get him. We're not
We don't try to
psychotic.
we don't try to kill our friends.
What would Alka-Seltzer do?
Because it fizzes.
And do you get more water?
Yeah, you get blinded when it hits your eye.
You did that?
I used to, yeah.
Did you get more water pressure?
I think I did.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
maybe
you
it'll
just
come
blind
out.
people. What are you doing?
Did you ever put acid in there?
One of my friends used to piss in there and spray Beaver in the face.
What?
No.
It's like, what?
No. Ant's face was like
It's
horrifying.
horrifying. Yeah.
No.
Mm.
That definitely happened. Some fucking sick
course some
bastard,
asshole.
right?
I remember there was a guy who was going to salad bars in Manhattan.
And spraying feces.
spraying
Yeah.
feces.
Yeah.
In fact, that was the famous story. We have a Russian friend,
Oh.
and his father, who is Russian, couldn't really, English was his second language. So he was reading, and he goes to his son. He read that story about the man spraying feces on the
feces.
salad bar, and he asked his son, Raymond, what is fecus?
Fecus.
Fecus.
Raymond had to explain what fecus was.
It's shit, Dad.
Heavily quoted line.
Yeah.
Heavily quoted.
So eventually, Lonnie Johnson Super Soaker, obviously big hit. Hasbro bought him out, but he still had a royalty deal.
Sick.
And then he developed another beloved toy,
Really?
the Nerf gun.
Wow.
He didn't stray far.
I guess
This guy likes arming kids.
he's a military guy.
Yeah.
I'm like convinced he's like a CIA psyop.
I feel
dude.
like this guy's a hero. He made
Yeah,
fucking
I don't
I
want
mean,
some
these
fun.
toys are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, it is a bit like you're giving kids all these weapons.
Well,
Yeah,
the thing
I
is,
know.
kids have been using forever.
kids were also using slingshots and BB guns before that.
I will say-
Shots and BBs.
Do you remember when we were kids,
Yes.
really little kids, we
Yes.
did full-on World War II
Reenactments, yeah.
reenactments,
I was a sniper.
storming up to like
Yeah.
stairs,
Yep.
and Steve was always a sniper and
Yep.
shit.
We have. There's a picture of all of us. We had to be like 8 to 11, like
Yeah,
that
that
age.
range.
Using the church
I
tower.
think
Yeah.
I'm holding like one of us is holding a Nerf gun, but then there's like 3 of us holding like exact replicas. One has an AK-47, one has an M4. It's hysterical.
One kid
I'll see
is
if I can find
stabbing
the picture.
Brian, going shh,
It might as
while
well
another kid cries in the stairwell next to him.
I think our friend was checking the chamber to see if the gun was jammed. He's looking into it,
Yeah.
and it's like, this is hysterical.
Well, one of our friends always, because he was kind of the one who would dictate like the play.
Yeah, he was the biggest one.
Steve always died.
I always was killed.
Steve
Was
always
always
was killed.
It was so funny. I was,
He was always KIA.
yeah.
He's like sniping, which is like,
and then I
you
got
know,
hit with like a tank
he's,
shell.
oh yeah, you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
it
happened?
got Steve.
Tank shell. Tank shell got me.
It's like, I remember we used to play basketball, and I didn't know the fucking rules. I was real young.
Uh-huh.
They made me the ref. So like 2 kids were playing 1-on-1, and I would just the one kid I didn't like, I would always just go foul. You fouled him. You got to give the other guy 2 free throws.
Was it Frank, our friend Frank's nemesis?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no.
No.
So he invented Nerf,
Sick.
another
Great
big
guy.
hit toy. Did you have a Nerf gun?
Yeah, I had the
Yeah, I had some.
pulsator.
Was that the one with the balls in a circle?
It was balls in 2 tubes, and you would pump it, and they'd shoot one ball out of one tube, one ball the other, and you could rapid fire them.
I believe it was
And the
called.
commercial went pulsator, 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 pulsator.
I had like a pistol one.
I believe I had the
Ballzooka.
Bazooka, where you put
Yes.
you put a bunch of balls in. I think it was like it had like 6 chambers, and each one held 3 balls,
Mhm.
and it would circle around. I always wanted the biggest.
You wanted heavy weapons.
Yeah.
He was always.
He was a heavy weapons guy.
Yeah.
Brian be the guy with the flamethrower or the BAR?
Yeah. Oh, the BAR.
In World War I, I have the shotgun.
Trench gun
Yeah.
guy?
I know which friend of ours would have had the flamethrower. I'll say that. But yeah, we were terrible at that shit. We used to make weapons too. Like, it's terrible. Continue.
So, Lonnie Johnson, he did that. He ended up suing Hasbro because they didn't give him enough royalties in 2013. He
I hope he
made
won.
a shitload of money. He made $73 million in royalties after that. According to Hasbro, the Super Soaker is approaching sales of $1 billion.
Wow.
I mean,
I would have thought it hit that long ago.
I
guess
mean,
not.
it's a
For a toy, $1 billion? That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's been around for 30
Yeah,
years.
but the toy's not expensive.
it's a $20 toy.
Yeah,
You know,
$1 billion.
You know,
is
in my head,
ridiculous.
like, because you always wanted a new one all the time.
oh, you wanted one every
yeah.
time
And
a
your
commercial
parents
came
are
out.
always like, nah.
They got one.
Yeah. So I just assumed they were expensive. I just assumed they were like $50.
No.
Some of them were.
I mean, it depends. It's between $20 and $60 on
Yeah.
average.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think the one I got was like $100.
His was like crazy. Yeah, his was crazy.
But it's fucking ridiculous. I wonder if that's like in my mother's house somewhere. I hope I didn't throw that out.
I don't even know how. You might have to call someone to pick that up. I remember it being big.
I'm a grown man. I think I can lift it now.
I meant garbage people. Like there might be something in there that they can't just dispose
Gotta go out
of.
on bulk day.
Yeah, it has a plutonium reactor. Has to be dealt with carefully. But he has a couple of other like inventions that he's working on that are pretty big, like some sort of new fuel cell thing.
Oh, he's
Wow,
gonna
who
be
gives a turkey?
assassinated.
He already did the
He's
coolest
dead.
thing
Yeah,
ever. Like
yeah.
so many like legit. This guy has just provided kids hours of entertainment.
Yeah.
It's a great toy.
And supported people joining the military, I guess, in
Yeah.
a way.
And there you go. That's Lonnie Johnson, inventor, black dude, Black History Month.
I did not do something for Black History Month, but I do have a fun story.
All right.
Have either of you heard of Michael Malloy?
No, is he a boxer?
No, but I could see why you would think that because his nicknames are the Iron Mike
Okay.
or the Rasputin of the Bronx.
I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna fuck him. He stole my name.
So
I'm gonna eat his children.
Fucking
Iron
tell me
Mike.
love till
Yeah.
you love me.
I don't know who to fear more, this guy or
Mike?
Mike Tyson.
Okay.
How great is that Mike Tyson cartoon with Norm Macdonald as the pigeon?
Oh, Mike Tyson Mysteries?
Hilarious.
I actually never watched it.
Hilarious.
I remember watching like an episode and it was okay. I don't know. Anyway, so this was a homeless Irishman who lived in New York City during the 20s and 30s.
Okay.
It's never a good start when you're like Wikipedia page and like what you're known for is like homeless
Homeless Irishman.
homeless derelict. Sorry, continue.
He was a former firefighter,
Oh,
and
no.
his most famous
Where did it
for
all go bad, Iron Mike?
he survived a number of attempts on his life,
By who?
as many as 20 by some accounts, by 5 acquaintances who were attempting to commit life insurance fraud.
Why are they trying to kill him?
He wanted to cash in his policy.
Exactly. So they
You're
found
worth more dead than alive, Iron Mike.
he's an alcoholic, he's homeless, he's fallen on hard times. It's really easy to make his death look accidental. At least what these men thought. So there's 5 guys. There's Tony Marino, Joseph Murphy, a.k.a. Red, Francis Pasqua, Hershey Green, and Daniel Kreisberg. These are later named as the Murder Trust by headlines.
Kreisberg always took his shirt off in
Sounds like
pictures.
there's
Right.
Irish, Italians, blacks, and Jews trying to kill
New
this
York.
guy.
All of New York wanted this guy
It's
dead.
New York in the 20s and 30s, yeah.
The way I imagine this playing out in a movie is like, first, like the Italians try to get him. I can't fucking get this guy. Let's get the fucking mix. Let's see if they could do it. The Irish guy fucks up. We can't fucking get him.
I swear to God, that's kind of what happened.
And then then, they all come together. They're like, I can't fucking do it. Be a great black comedy.
It's made already.
Really?
Kind of.
He's got a movie?
There's a documentary on it, yeah.
Oh, well, I mean.
But it's in movie form. You'll see. I'll get into it. So the murder trust, these 5 guys, they plotted to take out 3 life insurance policies under the same name and just get him to drink himself to death. He's an alcoholic already. One of them owned a bar. They're like,
gee, I wonder which one.
Mike is an easy mark. And I believe Pascal was the idea. Marino was the one who owned the bar, and they could do it. So the prior year, Marino befriended a homeless woman, convinced her to take out a $2,000 life insurance policy, naming him as the beneficiary. One night, force-fed her alcohol, stripped her, doused her with ice water, pushed her near an open window, and she died of pneumonia. So he's done this before.
Wow.
He's an evil fuck. He's experienced.
Anytime, this is a tip for our listeners. Anytime someone's asking you to put a life insurance policy in your name and name them the beneficiary, they're trying to murder you.
Well, here's the thing. They thought of that.
My wife keeps she's mentioned working on our life insurance and adjusting our benefits, and I'm like, you trying to kill me?
I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
That'd be fun.
She watches. Does your wife do this? My wife loves all those crime documentaries.
They all do.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing: if I want to watch a horror movie, she won't do it. She's like, "Oh, it disturbs me." I'm like, "You watch the most horrific shit on,
and it's real."
I can't watch the shit she watches because it bothers me.
Yeah.
But I'll watch all the fake shit. Right. I don't know how they do it.
Right. They love
morbid stuff. Anyway, I'm chewing.
What a professional.
Yeah.
Hey, we can cut. He was in terrible shape, and
I like him already.
They all decide, you know what? Let's do this. They take out the insurance with a corrupt agent, and they actually have a corrupt doctor ready to stand by to say why this guy died. So they have everything in motion.
How much could his policy be for?
I'll tell you soon.
It should go up.
It's roughly
fucking George Bailey only had $500.
Roughly the 3 policies together today would equal to about $70,000.
That's not even that much.
No.
To kill a homeless man who would probably be dead soon anyway. Yeah, it's an easy fix.
To launch a conspiracy to do it?
It's an easy fix. It's only 3 people realistically, and then 2 other people taking out the name. It
should be an easy job.
This is an easy job. It is.
This plus will not be an easy mission. Monkeys slow the expedition.
Plus, one of them owns a bar.
Mm-hmm.
He comes into the bar. They get to know him. They tap him on the back. They're like, hey, you're a friend. Here's some free shots. Here's some free drinks. Oh, you're homeless? Why don't you sleep in the back? Therefore, he always has access to alcohol. He'll drink himself to death.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
Does he do it?
Here's the thing. One of the guys goes, how are we going to get him to sign 3 separate life insurance policies? That's going to raise a red flag.
Uh-huh.
They go, you know what? Let's say that you're running for office and that he needs to sign petitions for things. And he was signing his life insurance policies.
Uh-huh.
So they thought of that. What you said, never sign it. He thought he was just signing a petition for counsel.
Never sign anything from anybody.
Yeah. But he's getting free drinks. He's fucking hammered. He's stupid. So they're in place and they decide, okay, what we're going to do. First part was successful. They put 70,000. Hold on a second. Okay. They start giving him a ton of liquor. And the life insurance policy has a time limit. He has to die by a certain time to get the full amount. So
there's a ticking clock.
It's a ticking clock. He's not drinking himself to death. He's drinking constantly, but not to death. He's not.
He won't die.
He won't die. Marino decides, okay, I have an idea. Let's spike his drinks.
Fentanyl.
These guys could have did a lot with
antifreeze.
Antifreeze. Okay.
We're going to spike it with antifreeze and then he'll die.
Uh-huh.
He had so much alcohol in his system that it was negating the effects of antifreeze and he wasn't dying.
That can happen?
Yes. Oh, don't worry. It gets worse. Then he replaces it.
I'm finally going to get to drink antifreeze.
It's my dream.
He replaced it with
blind drunk.
turpentine. Didn't kill him. Horse liniment, which is like horse tranquilizer, didn't kill him. Rat poison didn't kill him.
What was that COVID cure that Joe Rogan?
Ivermectin.
Yeah.
Horse dewormer. So right now they're at the bar. They're like, this guy won't die. What do we do?
It was horse hero, but it was actually like an award-winning like drug.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It stopped like malaria or some shit.
Yeah.
So they were like, all right, let's add more types of poison because clearly the chemicals aren't working. One guy goes, I saw somebody die of raw oysters with wood grain alcohol. Let's do that.
Why can't they just be more conventional?
Because it has to look natural. They're like, he's homeless, he'll eat this stuff.
They're trying to force a natural
Hey, Mikey
death.
likes it.
Yeah, they're trying to.
Now they would just like cut his brakes, I guess, right?
Hold on.
He doesn't have a car.
Hold on.
I'm on line with these guys.
Yeah,
right?
it's scary.
Now you're thinking like a murderous life insurance scammer.
Yeah.
So they try that, doesn't work. They take rotten and spoiled sardines mixed with poison and carpet tacks and put it in a sandwich and give it to him. Nothing happens. Carpet tacks. He was eating them and he's like, this is great. And he's not dying.
He's Rasputin.
Yeah.
They go, okay, obviously anything he ingests, it's not going to kill him. He has too much alcohol in his system.
Yeah.
Something's up here. So let's try to freeze him to death like you did with the other girl. And they're like, great. So they get him fucking hammered. He passes out in the bar. They take him out of his bed, put him into a park, and dump water on him. It is negative 14 degrees out. Negative 26 Celsius for our UK friends.
Wouldn't he, like, in theory, shouldn't he be like
He'd be
an
dead
icicle
immediately.
on the bench?
He would be dead instantly.
Like, isn't that the temperatures when you see people throw the buckets of water in the air?
It turns to snow.
Yes.
Yeah.
They drop him off. They're like, he's dead. We're good. We'll come back tomorrow and he'll be gone. They drive away. Cops pull up, see a homeless man, pick him up, put him into a shelter, and change his clothes. He survives.
So the cop saved his life.
The next day, they're like, we did it. He walks to the bar. Their faces are like, how is he alive? Like now rumor is spreading that there's an indestructible man at this bar. Like he won't die. Like he's like people know, the cops now know that like this guy like has been through some shit. They got wind of it. Next attempt, they're like, fuck it. Let's hit him with a car.
About time.
Harry Green, one of the guys, owns a taxi. They're like, we'll give you $150. Just hit him. Just make it look an accident. They get him drunk. They stand him up.
They put him in the street.
They stand him up in the street, and as the car's coming to it, they let go and run away. They missed him 3 times because he kept like moving. They finally hit him. They're like, they hit him hard enough where he hit the car and he heard him hit the ground. They're like, he's dead.
He has to be dead.
He's dead. People start coming by because they hear stuff.
Yeah.
And they drive away. They're like, he's a goner. He spent 2 weeks in the hospital. Came back to the bar. He's like, yeah.
I love that he keeps going back.
My friend.
He's getting free drinks. Because he gets drunk and blacks out or passes out. And then he's like, oh, what happened? They're like, you walked out of the bar, you hit by a car.
Did you ever get blackout drunk where you like don't remember what happened?
No. Not like that.
Not like that. I've gotten drunk and forgotten things, definitely.
Mind you, they hit him at 50 miles an hour.
That's how I hit that deer.
I got blackout drunk once.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was on the Disney cruise, and my friend
when you made out.
Yeah.
What?
When you had a romantic.
That was after this event.
Yeah.
So my friend, he was like, so in the Disney cruise, they have like a little kids club, they have a teen club, and then they have like a club for 21 and over. I was 15 at the time, I believe. So I was right at the perfect age for the teen club. My friend was 17, I believe, or he had just turned 18, and he was not eligible for the teen club anymore.
Right.
So he couldn't hang out when I was in there, and he was like upset about it. And the ship went to one of these ports, and he went off the boat, and he got a ton of vodka, and he brought it back to the room. I was like, hey, let's just drink. And me and him just started drinking the vodka. And I passed out completely. I have no memory of like from drinking to sleeping, what happened. I woke up. My mother was slapping me in the face on the floor. God. He was like wasted in the bathtub with the bath water flowing out.
Yes.
And my parents took me out of the room, dragged me into my room, put me into the bed. And they didn't let me order room service, and they made me just stay in the room as I like recovered.
The trip.
And his mother,
Ruined his trip.
Sent him on the helicopter.
his mother got a helicopter to take. Have I told this on the pod?
Yes,
before?
you have.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't know I told.
Well,
you.
new listeners.
It's fine.
And she paid for a helicopter to come to the boat
All right.
and escort him off the boat.
All right.
And that's when you got blacked out, huh?
And that was the one time I got blackout drunk, where I have no memory of like what happened from drinking
Mm-hmm.
to
To
waking
recovery.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Waking up in Memphis. Is
Uh,
that a song? No.
I'm
Waking
walking
Up
in
in
Memphis.
Walking in Memphis.
it's been
Waking
in a
up
few
somewhere,
songs.
though.
It's been in a few songs.
There's a
Memphis.
song.
I guess. Why not?
That's what
Memphis,
waking up in. Is it Taylor Swift?
Waking up in Vegas.
Vegas.
That's what you get for waking
Waking
up in Vegas.
Vegas.
I think it's Katy Perry.
Okay.
That was Katy Perry?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
song by
sounds
Katy
like it.
Perry.
All right. See, I know my
Yeah, you know.
bubblegum pop.
Yeah.
All right, so continue.
Good, okay.
I'm enjoying your tale.
Oh, yeah. So 5 days later, no reports of death. He shows back up at the bar and he's just like damaged a little bit, but he's ready to drink. So they're like, all right, we got to kill this guy. Like, we actually have to kill him because time's running out. They make him pass out again, put him in the bed. They
just give up.
They put a hose in his mouth, connect it to a gas jet, and turn the gas on.
What?
So they shoot gas into his lungs.
They try to
You're gonna
gas him.
suffocate
They
him?
gas him.
How did they get him to agree to this?
He passed out drunk.
Oh.
This is what they're doing. Have a shot. Have a shot.
Yeah,
have a
right,
shot.
right.
Free on the house. Let's have
Right,
fun. Haha. He passes out. They're like,
Mhm.
we got to kill this guy
Yeah.
now. Like, he dies within the hour, sadly.
Okay.
They got him.
But the doctor that was on standby immediately says that he was dead of lobar pneumonia. The cops that got wind that there was this indestructible guy hears that he's dead.
Uh-huh.
And they
Yeah,
go,
like-
huh, that's weird.
So he did die.
Fishy.
He died. A doctor immediately said he was dead, and then they buried him the next day. And they're like, that's
It happened too fast.
weird.
Yeah.
Especially since everyone said he's indestructible. Let's just check this out.
Investigate?
Let's investigate
Yeah.
this. Because he was known all over speakeasies.
Do you
As the Rasputin Mike.
Do you think they paid off the doctors?
The doctor
they
was
did.
in on it.
Yeah.
Doctor was in on it. So the police decide to dig up the body, exhume the body, and forensically analyze it and realize this motherfucker's been through hell. He's been poisoned left and right. He
Yeah.
died of gas.
They murdered him.
They murdered him. 5 men were put on trial.
Quincy showed up and he said,
It was murder, Sam.
5 of them were put on trial. 1 went to prison, and 4 of the members were executed the same
Wow.
year in Sing Sing.
Why was one not killed?
I believe one of them.
He just watched.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. The
Okay.
details are a little. He might have done a
Wait,
plea.
do you have which one?
Green. So Green was the one who was arrested and not put to death.
He definitely ratted.
He was the one that drove the taxi.
Okay.
So
He only hit him with a car. I mean,
exactly, he didn't. He didn't do too
I guess
much.
attempted murder is different than murder.
yeah.
In 2015, the documentary "Name Your Poison" debuted on Irish language TV channel TG4 about Michael Malloy, and there's actually a
so-
trailer.
So is it in Gaelic?
It's in Gaelic?
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Or is it just people with outrageous accents?
Yeah.
Yeah, it can go many ways with that.
So thick we can't hear
But
it.
yeah, if you want to check it out, Name Your Poison. I did not watch it. I probably will because
It's on
that
after
is
Father
a
Ted.
very interesting, funny story of Iron Mike,
You love Father Ted,
Father
right?
Ted rules.
and that's my story.
That was fun.
That was good. I like that.
Yeah, the Irish Rasputin from Queens.
A bum. He's a bum.
He's a bum.
Jules. Got no legal Tinder.
All right, what do you got, Ant?
I have a very famous story, but I don't see us ever having a movie to really cover it.
Oh, okay.
So I decided I'm going to tell the epic tale of the fall of the Western Empire and Attila.
Attila.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we're in the mid 5th century AD.
Okay.
Okay.
Just to give kind of set the stage.
The Huns.
The Huns,
Yeah.
yes. The
Those
Roman
wild-
Empire
Wildcats.
is kind of been split in 2. We have the Eastern Empire and the Western Empire. There's 2 capitals, Constantinople in the east.
Istanbul was Constantinople.
It was, yes.
It always is Constantinople.
In the west, the capital has been moved to Ravenna.
Oh, it's not.
It's not Rome, and it's not Milan, which it had been prior.
Ravenna.
Yes, Ravenna is like a swampy fortress city that
Okay.
they've moved the government to because it can be defended more easily than Rome itself. For about 50 years at this point, the Huns have come out of the east, and they are very scary. By all Roman accounts, they're like grotesque. And
Where are the Huns like base? Like where are they from?
so they come out of the eastern steppe lands.
The internet.
Right. The internet.
The Hun.
That's Brian's porn site.
I used to go on that. Yeah. Way back in the day.
A lot of viruses.
Yeah, I was like pre-Pornhub. It was like pictures loading slowly. Yeah.
They come out of the eastern Eurasian steppe.
But like, where would their base be today?
I'm gonna
Like,
tell you.
Kazakhstan.
They start pushing the local tribes into the Roman territory. There's a gigantic refugee crisis. They eventually will set up shop in what is today Hungary.
So they're Hungarians.
Hungary is named after the
Hun.
I didn't know that.
the Hungarian plain.
So they're white dudes?
They are Asiatics. For a long time, like when people would read Roman accounts of the Huns, they'd think the Romans are just like have never seen Asians before. And they're terrified of Asian features.
I thought they were Asian.
They are. But archaeological evidence in more recent years has actually found out that they did shit with like baby skulls. So like when they're young, when the Huns were like babies, they would wrap their skull so that they would become elongated, almost like aliens or some shit.
Yeah, baby skulls are very malleable.
Right.
And if like, so it's actually, so like when you have a baby, if you put, so let's say you lay a baby flat on like this wood every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
The back of the head
will
becomes
shape,
flat. So it's a thing where they sell these special helmets that you could put on your baby to mold their head to like
A good
a
shape.
proper shape.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, the Romans were terrified of these people. But like I said, it created this horrible refugee crisis where you had all these Germanic tribes now invading the empire at the same time.
Okay.
The Goths will have a giant encounter at Adrianople, crossing the Danube frontier. The Franks will move into Gaul, and the all different tribes going.
All people splitting up going after.
The Vandals eventually will end up carving North. They'll go so far as to carve North Africa out of.
Well, they're
empire.
Vandals. Of
They're
course, they're going to leave their mark.
vandalizing.
That's where the
Vandalizing
name
everything,
comes from,
yeah.
because they will eventually sack Rome and vandalize.
They do graffiti.
Yes.
Just dicks everywhere.
There's a punk band, the Vandals, I believe.
Probably.
No, I believe it.
So first character I want to talk about is this guy Flavius Aetius.
He loves flavors.
When he was a kid, he's from the Western Empire. When he was a kid, he was used as a hostage, and this is a system of diplomacy that the Romans had set up, where they would send like nobility, young nobility, to live among the barbarians
Okay.
in exchange for like barbarian princes to come live with them, as like a good faith thing.
Right.
Like we're not going to kill each other. We're taking care of
Exchange
each other.
students.
Yes.
Yeah. The
So
first exchange program.
He lives for a time with the Goths and then eventually with the Huns, and he ends up living in the same group as Attila, his brother Bleda, and their uncle. Oh God, I forgot his name. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But he ends up like having a really good relationship with them.
They're boys.
Yes.
With Attila.
Yes. And as he grows up, Aetius becomes like the top general in the Western Empire. And the Western Empire is very weak at this time. Like I said, they've been invaded by like German tribes. The empire is being held together on paper pretty much and not in reality.
I mean, paper is not very strong. It can't hold much together.
Exactly. The final like 50 to 100 years of the empire, people will attribute to Aetius himself as like just by sheer force of will.
Just keeping it
He
together.
kept it alive.
Okay.
He's like doing crisis control his entire life, essentially. At one point, through like some backstabbing shit that he's doing. He's also incredibly ambitious and trying to like undermine the emperor. And the emperor's a child, by the way. So his mother's in charge. And he's like he's like trying to take over the government.
Yeah, he's like, this is not good. I got to run the show.
So he gets on the wrong side of her, and he loses a battle to like another Roman army, and he's forced into exile, and he goes to the Huns and gets them to help him come back and get his own. Like he invades Rome with a Hunnic army.
Yeah,
and
you guys need me.
Yes, and he gets his old job back as like the top guy. Anyway.
Using Huns.
Yes. Meanwhile, in the Eastern Empire, which is much stronger than the Western Empire, it's doing a lot better. The Huns are sitting, they're not really doing much. They just kind of sit and be menacing just north of the Danube
local
frontier.
Things, right? Like, yeah.
They'll like raid occasionally, but it's more like the fear that they instill that's really what driving the fact that the Eastern Empire is sending wagon loads of 700 gold a year in tribute to the Huns.
What are they so scared of?
Invasion.
But
the Huns are the premier military power in Europe at this time. No doubt about it. They can outfight anybody.
And the Romans are like, we just got to pay these guys off.
They're paying off the Huns to not attack them.
Okay.
They do this, for years. Eventually, Attila's uncle, who was like their leader, dies. And this leaves Attila and his brother in charge. They decide, the kind of dynastic crisis this creates, the Romans think now's a good time to stop paying.
Now's the time.
Yes. So Attila and his brother are like, okay, you want to cut off the tap? Now we're going to invade you. So they go down into the Eastern Empire and they sack city after city after city. And the Romans have dealt with this type of thing before from, barbarian invasions. But it's a very much weaker Rome than that had been around in the past. And
they're not the big boys.
The Huns, unlike the rest of the Germanics that they've been dealing with for centuries, are really good at sieges.
They have insane military tactics.
Right. They can take over. They can breach walls. Whereas in the old days, if the Goths came and besieged your city, you get all the people and the food and anything you can grab and get it behind the walls. And, they'll fuck around, they'll burn things for a while and eventually go home.
And you'll be fine.
And you'll be all right. The Huns, way better. So the Romans send out an army to the East. This is all Eastern Empire. They send out an army to fight Attila, and he annihilates it. There's nothing left. The road to Constantinople is open. Now, Constantinople has these walls, the Theodosian walls. This is probably the second most famous fortification ever.
I have heard of the Theodosian walls.
Yeah. Other than like the Great Wall of China, these are like the most famous walls in history, I think.
Walls of Jericho?
Good wall.
No, there's another one.
Yeah. You take those down with a trumpet, I believe.
Now,
right?
the Theodosian walls they're actually like two sets of walls.
Okay.
So you've got the smaller wall in the front.
Real quick, we're talking about walls.
Yeah.
How do we not bring up the Berlin Wall? I mean.
Oh, yeah, that's another one. Yeah, that's a shitty wall.
Yeah, it fell apart pretty quick.
That's more of a fence.
Kind of just hop over it, really.
But this wall, it's got, an outer wall, then like a open ground where people on
like
the inner wall now you're in a killing zone. It's got like spikes and shit. And then you've got the main big wall on the inner wall, right?
Yeah.
This is for real. But the road, like I said, the road is open to Constantinople. And just at that moment, as fate would have it, a gigantic earthquake hits Constantinople and creates giant holes in the Theodosian walls.
Oh, no.
Damn.
And by some insane miracle, the people of Constantinople, motivated by fear and terror, essentially, managed to work around the clock and just in time for Attila to reach the city, rebuild the wall, and fix everything, like in miraculous time, right? So they save the city.
Okay.
The Huns can't break through. But they stick around for a while. They do some more damage. They take out 2 more Roman armies that get sent against them. The Eastern Empire is fucked.
They're done.
Yeah. But
Constantinople
the
remains.
Huns do not want to kill the goose that lays the golden egg. They're not there for territory. They're there for loot. So they cut a deal. They increase the annual indemnity to 1,400 pounds of gold a year, and they go home.
That's a lot of gold.
Yes. So now the Huns are happy. They're being,
Well
satiated.
paid.
Right. Now I'm going to switch over to the Western Empire,
Okay.
where Aetius is frantically trying to hold it together.
This is a Ravenna?
Ravenna.
Ravenna.
Yeah. So the Emperor Valentinian III, he's got a sister.
He's a saint, right?
No, I don't think so.
Saint Valentine?
Valentinian.
Valentinian III.
Close enough.
He's got a sister named Honoria.
She's annoying.
Honoria with an H.
Ah.
She's honorable, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know. She's young. She's
Lethal.
Headstrong.
She'll take on anyone.
she wants some excitement in her life, and she is betrothed to a senator.
Sounds exciting.
Herculanus. He is dull and
He has
predictable.
a strong asshole.
And he's old.
Herculanus.
Yeah.
She does not want to marry Herculanus.
Who would?
So she writes a letter. And it says, "Dear Attila, come rescue me from this marriage." And she includes a signet ring with it. And
Like, this is
sends it
official.
out. Yep. Well, a ring.
Yeah.
Attila gets the message. He reads it. And he says, "I accept your proposal for marriage."
Yeah.
Now,
That's what it seems
whether
like.
if that's what she meant or not, he's decided,
I'm in.
I'm in.
Yeah.
And he
Sounds
sends back a
fun.
message saying, "I require half of the empire as a dowry." Now everybody's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. What did you do?
Yeah.
Is this the first awful? This is like a treachery on the level of Eve. Like, think of what this woman did.
She was bored.
She couldn't
bored.
just marry Herculanus. Instead, she had to destroy Rome by asking the barbarian to come destroy them.
So needless to say, the empire writes back, "Yeah, we're not doing that." So Attila now has to invade. And
Does he have to invade?
I think he just wanted
He wanted to,
Yeah.
Well, she gave him an excuse.
She gave him a pretext. Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
So you'd think like if he was serious about marrying her, he would have went straight for Italy, but he doesn't. He goes to Gaul. He crosses the Rhine and starts sacking towns
in France.
in Gaul. Yeah. He actually, there's an interesting story. When he gets to Paris, the people of Paris go out in front of the city, and they're led by this woman, Genevieve. Yeah. And they pray. And for whatever reason, he doesn't kill them.
Is he Christian?
No.
Okay. What is he?
Some pagan fucking
shit?
Eastern
Okay.
steppe shit. Tangrist religions.
Okay.
But
So he just doesn't kill them.
he doesn't kill them. And now Genevieve is now Saint Genevieve, the patron saint of Paris.
Okay.
He goes to Orleans,
Mm.
besieges the city. Aetius is fucked.
He's like, God damn it.
So he goes to the Goths and their king Theodoric.
Where are they?
They're in Gaul.
Okay,
They're like in Gaul and Spain, like
Okay.
in the West. And he begs them to join him in a last alliance against
The enemy of my
the
enemy.
Huns. So the Goths join, after some prodding, the Goths join up and the Franks join up. And they have this final coalition.
So who is it? It's the Goths?
The Romans, the Franks, the Goths, and anybody else who's in the area that wants to join up.
Basically, the entire Western.
Yes. This is, I honestly think
structure of
this is
Europe.
probably what Lord of the Rings was inspired by. That.
Oh, you think so?
The Last Alliance thing, yeah.
That's interesting.
So they go to Orleans, and Attila.
Well, Attila can't be killed by a man.
He abandons the siege and moves to a place that he finds that will be a favorable battleground for them. The place he picks is called the Catalonian Plains.
Spain.
No.
Oh.
It's in Gaul.
Because at Catalonia, I thought.
Yeah.
Southern.
I
think.
I'm not sure. I'm sure you could look up where it is exactly. The Catalonian Fields. They have one of the largest battles of antiquity. It's easily like, I mean,
most of the world.
The sources will tell you that like each side has 500,000 men on it, which is not possible. It's probably closer to like 200,000 or 300,000.
The Wikipedia page doesn't even have casualties. It's like sources vary.
Yeah. But the sources tell us that they kind of had a race to the top of this hill, and the Allies will get to the top first and use the terrain to kind of hold against the Hunnic onslaught.
Yeah.
And Attila,
they had the high ground,
is defeated.
Okay.
Now, his army is not destroyed, but he loses the battle decisively. The Roman, allied army takes a hit too. King Theodoric dies in the battle. So the Goths,
the Goths
are now kingless. Attila now has to make his way out of Gaul back to the Hunnic lands. And he will be shadowed the entire time by Aetius' army, never really attacking him because he doesn't want to, because Attila's leaving.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want to risk the, resurgent Hun thing. They want to fuck this up.
Well,
but what they will do is keep, because the Huns kind of live off the land. They don't have these long supply lines. They just steal shit.
Yeah.
So they keep them from doing that. They won't when raiding parties will go out to try and get food and shit. That's when they'll attack.
Mm-hmm.
So they're forced to go home. So Attila goes home in the winter. I imagine he's probably stewing.
He's pissed.
Summer comes.
Does the other guys have to be celebrated?
Oh,
right?
yeah. This is miraculous. No one's ever been able. He's been invincible for years at this point. He decides.
Do you think Herculanus' marriage continued?
I imagine that wasn't a happy house.
Yeah. Look what you did.
He might have just been a weak man. Like, hey, it's okay. I get it.
I like to think he's your regular dude. Just, put it on.
Attila, he goes home that winter and he's pissed. So come the summer, it's time to invade Italy.
It's raiding time.
So they swoop through the eastern passes of the Alps and hit the city of Aquileia. Aquileia was the famous fortress city in northern Italy that when barbarians would come and try to swoop into Italy.
That was the end.
It was the first line of defense.
Oh, okay.
It's long standed as this impenetrable Roman fortress.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like you're not getting past that.
Right.
It's done.
The Huns rip it apart brick by brick and leave it as nothing but a ruin. Like there's nothing left.
It's done.
Done. They burn, they smash and smash. There are a few survivors. And those survivors will run into the nearby marshes where there are some islands that they set up shop for the next 1,000 years and build the city called Venice.
Really?
Yes.
So this leads to Venice.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Attila moves on across northern Italy, sacking everything in his path. They destroy Milan, which was the last Roman capital before Ravenna. And he's ready to move south. Since the military is fucked and can't really fight him, the Senate and Emperor decide they'll do the next best thing. They'll try diplomacy, since nothing else has worked.
Yeah.
So
do you want the girl?
They send
we still got her.
a retinue of senators, I imagine with quite a bit of gold on them.
Yeah.
And the Bishop of Rome, Leo I, who is the Pope.
Okay.
And they have a conversation with Attila, and somehow Leo convinces him to turn around and go home.
Stop.
This will immediately make the Pope into a superstar. This is the birth of the papacy, essentially.
It's like, holy shit.
Yes.
You saved.
When Rome falls,
literally
this is the authority.
Yeah.
I think it was probably had more to do with the fact that
The gold.
after, well, yes, he was
Or
definitely
he failed
bribed.
before doing
Definitely
the same
bribed.
thing.
The Huns probably were so overladen with treasure that they
Yeah.
had to go home and make a deposit.
Okay.
Like there's no
Mhm.
point going south. Not to mention, northern Italy was going through a famine at the time, so
So
they were
what food are
probably
you gonna
looking
get?
hungry.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, we will spare the Italian peninsula and go home. So victorious Attila goes home, and he's hero of the day among the Huns.
They love him.
They love him. He is God. He gets a new wife and has a wedding party. And that night of his wedding, he starts drinking and drinking and drinking and dies.
He wasn't a homeless guy.
He
That was his
wasn't
problem.
He could have
He
took a page out of Mike's
Drinks
book.
himself to death. Probably like vomits in his sleep.
Do you think
One
he
of
was
those
poisoned
fucking-
by his wife?
I don't think so. I think he's just
Yeah.
fucking a barbarian.
I like to think an Italian like mafioso dude
I
like
think
poisoned
that
his
was
wife.
early-
Possible. They
early
were
days.
they did try to
100%.
assassinate him. a couple
100%.
Yeah.
That sounds poisoning.
And that is the end of Attila the Hun. Aetius, the great hero,
Yeah.
Valentinian, who
He
was
wasn't able to do anything about this other invasion.
no, the coalition was over.
Okay.
Valentinian, who is no longer a child, has people whispering in his ear that Aetius
Has to go.
is a problem. And one day, Aetius is giving a military report in the palace in front of the entire court. He turns around, and Valentinian himself walks up to him and just stabs him in the back.
In the back?
In the back, in front of everyone.
Jeez.
And that is that's the end of my story. Not long after this, the entire Western Empire.
Well,
will
what?
collapse.
Yeah. So what? Why don't just finish the story? So what happens basically?
Oh, Valentinian's immediately discredited. He's removed. They have a series, like the dynasty's over.
Yeah.
Now you've got like rogue German generals that call themselves emperor for the next like 40, 50 years.
Okay.
And the city, Rome gets sacked again by the Vandals. The side story to all of this is that the Vandals, the Africa, right, is where Italy's food comes from Africa.
Okay.
Like the African provinces ship food.
Weed and stuff.
Yeah. And for, the last couple of 100 years, the Mediterranean has been completely in Roman hands. It's completely safe. The
Yeah.
Navy is out of practice. When the Vandals cross into Africa, they seize the entire region
Easily.
and decide that the next course of action is to build a fleet and become pirates. So they start invading these like little islands in the Mediterranean and just using them as pirate bases. So now all shipping is under attack at all times.
Mhm.
The empire can't live.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like once there's no one to come and collect the taxes. Eventually they pull the legions out of Britain. So Britain just gets
Yeah.
abandoned.
They just leave it. Right?
Yeah. It's over. You can't call it an empire anymore after
Yeah.
a while. There's just independent kingdoms.
They just
Pockets.
slowly
Yeah.
shrink down.
yeah. Now Gaul is the kingdom of the Franks.
Okay.
Italy is the kingdom of the Ostrogoths. Spain is the kingdom of the Visigoths. It's over.
Okay.
A lot of Goths.
And
Yeah.
Rome is just a part of the Ostrogoths.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No hot topics.
No. And this Nero is there and it falls apart, right?
Nero.
What?
Nero's been dead for hundreds of years.
Oh, yeah, because that's when it split the first time, right?
He was the last emperor of the Julio-Claudian
Okay.
dynasty. Justinian will try and get it all back.
Yeah.
This is the Byzantine period.
Yeah, this is when they become that's in the Byzantine Empire rise.
The Eastern Empire doesn't fall.
Yeah.
It stays intact and
They
it
become the
becomes the Byzantines. Eventually, Justinian is the last Latin-speaking emperor.
Okay.
After that, they switch to Greek. And they're kind of a different culture altogether.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why they're called Byzantine and not just the continuing
You
Roman. They would have called themselves Romans until the day they would. The Theodosian walls that I talked about before
Yeah.
eventually get some holes put in them by the Ottomans with guns.
Yeah, the Muslims take it over.
They
right?
last long enough where cannons are needed to blow the
Okay.
fucking walls apart. Yeah.
It's a good run.
Sick.
1452, I believe.
Wow, what the story.
What
That's
a
epic.
story. That is an
Yeah.
epic one.
Yeah, they'll
You
never
weren't
do that in a
kidding.
movie.
It's too much.
That could have existed in like
The
2005, like a Rome series.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like if Rome
series,
went like
yeah.
13 years, you know.
Yeah.
But
I didn't see us ever like covering that topic, so I thought, let me bang.
yeah,
this
I don't
one
think
out.
there's an Attila movie, right? Let me check.
Not a major one anyway. I think there's like there's probably TV shit.
It wouldn't be surprising, but
Why
know.
isn't there? That would work.
I think you could do one. I think that's cool. There's a TV miniseries
Mm-hmm.
and a 1954 film.
Attila.
I mean, didn't they do like a?
Anthony Quinn plays Attila
really?
with Sophia Loren.
Oh, this we
gotta
gotta
do
do
this.
this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who plays Honoria? Sophia Loren. I bet she's
Maybe.
Honoria.
Let's say. Yup, she's an Aria.
shit. All right.
Yeah, Valentino Caesar's in there. Yeah, all right. Yeah, we got to do that.
Wow.
I think that would be the oldest film we'd have covered, not counting the special.
Probably, yeah.
All
that
right,
was pretty interesting.
it's pick time.
That's cool. That was cool.
I'll go first because my movie's coming out first.
Sure. I'll go second.
I am going to pick Amistad, which we already said, and we're having our special guest, Chris Lodondo, join us.
Yes.
Returning, our expert in
All things African American.
Yes.
Yeah, he's definitely an expert. I'll say that.
We're not friends with any black people. What do you want? We used to be. We grew apart and they moved away. He's a PhD. He lives in Iowa.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna do this one,
Yeah.
and you can do the other one.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna do Diallo.
yeah.
There you go.
I want to
He's
do
black.
the St. Valentine's Day Massacre from 1967.
Yes.
Oh, Chicago.
We're going to the Chicago
We're
way.
going
again.
back.
We're going
We're
back.
going
We're
back.
Revisiting. And we're going back a little bit in the movie time here. 67.
Yeah,
You know,
I like it.
Yeah.
I love that period.
Yeah, it's a good time.
And I guess I don't know if did we decide we're doing come and see?
Do we have to?
We can do whatever you want.
All right, let's do come and see.
All right, that was
All right,
quick.
cool.
I
so-
figured he'd pick something else.
I just that's what we talked about. So you said you want to do something Russian. So there we go. We are
I
doing
figured a more
the
light,
Soviet World War
more,
II fucking.
a more lighthearted one.
No, this is brutal. This is brutal and
Jesus
fucked up.
Christ.
and
I
that's
have
what
never
we're doing.
seen it.
It's
Yeah.
it's revered
it
as
is-
one of the best
It's revered
movies
as one of the
ever.
best.
So
I have
movies.
I have heard nothing but good things. It's a masterpiece on Letterboxd.
Mhm.
I believe it is like the third ranked highest film of people like
I've
watching
seen it.
oh, you
Yes.
have?
Yes,
I haven't seen
I
it.
saw it in theaters. Actually, they re-released it in like a indie theater in Manhattan. And
Oh, wow.
I went to go see it. It
It meets the hype.
I don't know.
Okay, don't say anything else.
I don't
That's it.
know.
Don't say anything else. Wait. I want to go in
Yeah,
kind of without knowing anything. So
I'm
excited to watch it again because I kind of want a new perspective on it.
well, the
It
first
is,
time you're taking it in,
Yeah,
and now it's like
Mhm.
you
you're
can
examining
think.
it. Yeah.
you know.
yeah.
Okay, that sounds fun.
All right.
Well, that's it.
That's it, guys.
Yes.
All right.
Thumbs up.
We'll see you next time with Amistad.
Amistad 2.
Yes.
Want to give a big thank you to everybody listening and or watching. We greatly appreciate it. Want to give a thank you to Tom, Steve, Dave, Roy, Walt, Q, Get 'em, letting us record down in the studio. Thank you guys so much. Ant is purposely slurping loud to try to ruin my thing. Right? Am I right?
Yes.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Just
He's like Jules in
right
Pulp
up to the
Fiction.
mic and just suck. Yeah, he's Jules and Pulp
Yeah.
Fiction. Oh, that's a.
Which by
Big
the,
Kahuna Burger.
it's so unintimidating what he's doing.
I think that's the
Unintimidating?
point.
To slurp a soda and just like menacingly stare.
If he didn't have the straw, it would be better. But it's kind of great that that's what he's doing. You know?
Well, it's not even his drink; it's somebody else's. So
Yeah,
it's,
Yeah, I
he's
guess.
taking
it's
the other
definitely
guy's-
intimidating.
Yeah.
I just don't think you can ever look cool
Hamburger.
sipping
while
a
sipping
straw.
a straw.
The part of any nutritious breakfast. Doesn't Michael Madsen do the same thing in Reservoir Dogs?
I haven't seen Reservoir Dogs in a while.
Isn't he sipping a soda, like a drink like that?
Yes,
You're going to
but-
bark all
but
day,
it's
little
not
dog? You're going to
somebody's
bite?
It's not somebody else's drink; it's his.
It's his, yeah.
So it's not as
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. So, thank you all for listening and or watching. We greatly appreciate it. Follow the show everywhere on social media. Reviewing History Pod, our View History Pod on Twitter. Go to the website, buy some merch, leave a review on Apple iTunes, Podcast, Spotify. Please tell a friend, help potential sponsors find the show. We really want to grow. We want a big year. We want the big year.
The biggest.
Yeah. Follow me
We're gonna
personally.
see every fucking bird on this continent.
Every
Do you
single
think
one.
that there's like an even bigger big year where you do like every bird around the world?
Is that even
You
possible?
want to do Big Year instead of fucking come and see?
Can we?
Instead of the epic Russian war movie, we do Big Year. Is Big Year really based on a true story?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think the idea of like bird watching is, but I don't think it's based on real people. If it is, we might have to do a quick audible.
The film is loosely based on true accounts.
Fuck yeah.
It's up to you. I'll leave it in your hands. You got free reign. You decide our fate. Do we do the gritty war movie, hailed as one of the best movies ever, or do we do fucking Big Year?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are doing Big Year.
Hell yeah. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. That episode's going to stink, but I'm so happy.
What I love about this,
We're just going to have to talk about birds.
here's
For 2 hours.
here's what I really love about this. Someone shut it.
Furious right now.
No. So, well, yes, but someone was watching, turned it off. Because they're like, oh, Brian's doing the exit spiel. And they didn't stick around to the end. And now we're fucking rug pulling them. And we're doing fucking Big Year.
Oh, that's so fun. Yeah, they're going to watch the wrong thing.
All right, we're doing Big Year.
Fuck yeah.
Follow me personally
I'm so
on all
happy.
social media at Brian Rupert. That's with 2 P's. Follow me on Letterboxd. I rank and review every single movie I watch. Thank you so much for listening and or watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.